welcome to the TCAD 10-Minute Take. I'm your host, Sheree Stewart, and with me, as always, is my cohort, Don the Legend Chambers.
Yes.
This is our addendum to the TCAD regular podcast, where we talk about one movie and one movie only for 10 minutes. And today's movie is Halloween.
Halloween, yes.
Before we get into it, make sure you like and share and subscribe, and make sure you click that bells for other great videos and other TCAD 10-Minute Takes. Whenever we drop a new video, click that bell and you'll get it. So, Halloween.
All
Let
right.
me set the timer.
Let's get the timer.
Get the timer. We should
good.
really, yeah, it's going to be good. All right. And go.
All right. So, Halloween. Oh, okay. So for those that may or may not know, if you've read, that this Halloween is supposed to take place after the original. So, in other words, Halloween 2, 3, 4, Halloween
I think
20.
A little bit. It's a little too.
No, it's the first one.
Okay.
Because if you remember, they make mention 40 years after the initial attack. He's been locked up for all this time, never said a word.
The second one takes place in the hospital that same day. Like that's like right after. So I assumed it was not to like interrupt your thing, but I always
no.
Like I think it's 1 and 2, except for they cut out a little bit of information from 2.
Well, maybe, but I just assumed because they only speak of the initial incident. And with
I just know he got captured at the end of 2. He didn't at the end of 1.
True. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's dicey.
Let's put it this way. All of those many different sequels are gone. Okay. So if we want to say it's just Halloween 1 and 2 and this one, it's its own little inclusive world, mainly just dealing with Laurie Strode, the family, and Dr. Loomis, and that's it, okay? So, we'll just take it at its word. Now, what I'm trying to grasp or get the words out is going in, if you are a Halloween fan of the original 2 movies, or just the first one, I think you're going to find that you're just going to have to stay a fan of just those first 2 movies. I thought this movie was boring. It provided nothing new. You thought, well, maybe we might find out something about Michael Myers, something that they might want to include there as to why he's got this fascination with one in his family. I mean, anything. It's nothing. It is just a pure, by the numbers, hey, wouldn't you know, they put him in a bus to transport him, and wow, guess what happens? They break out. It crashes, because no doubt they probably put him in like plastic or paper cuffs, that he somehow breaks out and kills everybody on board and gets out, and then goes on a killing spree, which again, you see coming a mile away. You see all the people who are no doubt not going to survive, be it the kids or the adults. It's just so by the numbers that I'm watching. I'm just like, I could have just watched the original, and basically got the same thing. I mean, even though they tried to give Jamie Lee Curtis as like a Terminator-esque Linda Hamilton sort of a role, except she's the crazy grandma, and why can't she get over it? Why can't you get over a serial killer who basically hacked up the family and half the town? Right. So of course, all the prophetic yelling and screaming she does through the movie, it comes to fruition with the whiny daughter and granddaughter. I was like, oh God. And then even at the end, when they don't do what you're supposed to do, which is you're supposed to stand over that body, make sure it's dead, shoot it 5 more times in the head, or at least watch it burn, then scoop up the ashes and throw it in the ocean. None of that happened. So I'm like, great. Now they want to do a whole other series of sequels along this path, probably, I'm guessing. Maybe. Who knows? All I know, I'm bored to tears. Bored to tears. If I was to recommend when to see this, just wait for it to come on TV. Really. Because you are not missing anything new, anything exciting, anything remotely scary. I mean, they just do the jump scares that they like to do, a couple of them, but there is nothing that was like, I was just like, man, what a waste. It just, So wait for it to come on TV. And when I say TV, I'm talking about like on CBS, edited for time, the whole shebang. Just wait for that, because you're not missing anything, even if they cut out what could be a couple gory parts. It's not even really a gory movie. So it was just boring.
There's a few things.
Well, but I'm saying it wasn't like overly gory, something like some of the sequels.
It's not like an Eli Roth situation.
Right. Some of the sequels went through great lengths to add to the gore and the blood. I mean, this has it, but it's not anything crazy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't scary. I mean, there was a couple scenes that I thought had potential, but even those scenes didn't really make any sense. It was like, It's very If I had to give it a number from 1 to 10, maybe a 3 or a 4. It's like if was a number.
All right.
I'm sorry, that's all I got.
All right. Well, okay. So I've been watching all the Halloween movies. So I don't really have my nostalgia glasses on anymore. Like I've been watching them this week. So I'm seeing kind of where this would fit in. And here's what I feel like. If they had done what they wanted to do initially, where Halloween 1 and 2 was its own thing, and then Halloween Season of the Witch, which, you know what, upon second look, we should talk about that because it's not as bad as people remember. It's just that they were making it an anthology, and so Season of the Witch is a completely different story, and they wanted it to be every Halloween was a different movie, a different thing, and people freaked out because they were like, where's Michael Myers? So then Halloween 4 was the return of Michael Myers. But if they had if Halloween Season of the Witch had done as well as they had wanted it and had gone on with the anthology, and that was the end of the Michael Myers story was 1 and 2, then like 40 years later with no Michael Myers, we had come and this movie had come out, I think it would have been like an explosion of a movie because it was like you'd have the nostalgia, you would have none of that mythology that's been erased. I mean, I get it, you want to get rid of like the Thule Society and whatever, like the cult stuff that was happening in like 5 or 6, and then the stuff with the niece in like 4 and 5. So I guess the cult was in like 6, and then like the niece's kid, like I get you want to get rid of that, but because we have all of that built in, to get rid of that, you lose the whole thread of why people watch these movies in the first place by having this completely be like, fuck all that noise. If this had been a true 40 years later, we had never seen Michael Myers since like 1980 when the second one came out, it would have been like an amazing nostalgic experience, I think.
Sure, it could have been.
But the last Halloween movie we had was not that long ago. It was. I think. And then to have like H2O.
Was it Halloween 2.H2O?
H2O. And then to have Jamie Lee Curtis in that one. Yeah. And then to be like, no, just kidding, that didn't happen. Like, that's some weird shit. Like, you can't reconcile.
Died in that one.
Yeah. And then, and so, I mean, it's just like.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's very weird. And then they, like, Halloween 1, he gets shot and like falls off a balcony or whatever. That's then he's gone at the end. So then Halloween 2 picks up and she's in the hospital after the whatevers. Right. And he starts coming after her again. And then they indicate that she was his sister in this Halloween 2.
The second one that I'm
Because then Halloween before, when Michael Myers comes back, he has been in an institution in a hospital from the explosion at the end of 2. But they completely made them not be blood related anymore. Like she's not his sister. She's just a random babysitter or whatever, that she's the one who got away essentially. But then that kind of takes away his whole connection to her, the reason why he's coming after her so hard, whatever his, reason for killing his, like he had an older sister and a younger sister and he was killing like a family annihilator, that kind of takes away any motivation that he had. It takes, and then, you're right about, like, I thought it was more entertaining than TV. Like, I would rent it from the Redbox, but I do feel like if there were, it wasn't as exciting as it could have been. It was a missed opportunity. There was a lot of really cool stuff with the atmosphere in Jamie Lee Curtis's house, but it was a missed opportunity. I'll say missed opportunity is what we're calling it. It's kind of like X-Men Apocalypse. Or no, like when they had Days of Future Past to reset the timeline, and then they didn't fix anything. Missed opportunity with Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis was great, but she didn't really have nothing to do. But and that's jacked up. Like, get that woman something to do. Like her and Linda Hamilton need to do like something else.
It's
like,
honestly, I mean, the movie is so straightforward.
Yeah.
But so there's nothing else to really talk about, because honestly, what's this movie about? Oh, Michael Myers comes back, kills people. No, really, what's it about? No,
right.
Literally.
He's not supernatural anymore. That's why, like, I think this is it, because he's just they got rid of all that other stuff. Like, he's just a dude. And so,
but even so, being just a dude, he still escapes from the bus. He still somehow,
everybody escaped from the bus.
Ends up at the same gas station as the dude that had. Dude that has his mask.
I was just assuming it's a super small town, and that gas station was like by the prison. Like, they're in Bumblefuck, Ohio, or Haddonfield.
Even
and like,
so.
Yeah, it was a lot of weird coincidences to make. Like, then he winds up, and then they didn't even use that coincidence. He winds up at the house that the daughter was supposed to go to, but then she didn't meet up with him at that house. I guess maybe that explained why she was in the neighborhood. I don't know. There was a lot of weird coincidences. And then that little black kid was great, though. He was excellent. Right. I feel like he should be in more movies.
He said, I ain't staying in here.
He's like, oh, shit.
He was gone. But then he wandered the town, just sort of going from house to house. Murder.
But wound up at the house that the granddaughter was going to be at later. Like, so, really? It was just a lot. It was a mistake. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis deserves better. Deserves better.
This franchise deserves better, or something fresh in this to spark it or something. Yeah. No. Sorry.
This ain't it.
but hey, everybody, enjoy your Halloween, though.
Yes, enjoy your Halloween. Eat lots of candy or don't. I don't know what you're into.
I'm telling you right now, I got no candy for you.
Don't come to my house.
I'll even answer the door and be like, they'll go trick or treat. I'm like, I got nothing for you. You want?
I'm in a gated apartment. Like, they can't get in. We don't have any kids in here, so it's like whatever. I had tons of candy like the first year, and nobody came. And
nobody came.
And I felt like a fat ass, so I'm not doing that again. So if y'all come, you're not getting anything because you didn't come last year.
Mm-mm.
You get That's two true. Of these. But anyways,
that's about it.
That's our time.
Yeah.
So this has been the TCAD podcast. Don, you want to tell them where to find us?
Yes, you can find us TCADnetwork.com. That's the spot. It's got everything. It's got all of our 10-minute takes. It's going to have our podcast. It's also going to have Good Morning Antioch, another great podcast /
viewing experience.
Yes, that's the word. It is a viewing experience because it is something you have to not just hear it, but you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to see this stuff. It's all there to save you from having to to go to all the different hosting sites that we're on. You can also email us on there at tcadpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/tcadpodcast. We're on Twitter, tcadpodcast. Charade's on Twitter, Actor on the Edge. The TCAD Podcast Twitter itself, I'm running that, so some of the stuff, what you see there is basically me sometimes. Randy.
Yeah, Dawn is the Twitter, I'm the Facebook. So
she's the Facebook. You can find us there. You can also give us a call.
504-345-9344.
Boom, leave us a message. Whatever you want to say, whatever comments, suggestions, we will try to make that happen.
And leave your comments here on the YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Like, if you want us to talk about anything, you want us to watch a movie, like we'll watch old movies, hit up Ganja and Hess, I don't know, Vampire in Brooklyn. It doesn't matter. Like, we'll watch whatever you suggest and come and do a 10-minute take about it.
Yes, we will watch whatever you suggest, but that doesn't mean we're going to like it. I just want to make that clear, because certain people might get the feelings hurt by they're like, oh, I need you to watch this and this. And if it's garbage, we're going to call it garbage. So.
I do like a lot of nonsense, though. So
true. I mean, bad movies are great in that they're fun, but let's not forget they're still bad.
All right, that's it for today. And if you want to listen to the regular TCAD podcast, we got a new one dropping soon. And this has been the TCAD podcast 10-minute take.
See you.
Bye. And here's what I would have wanted to see. If she took to the streets, Predator style, hunting him down. Like, they did it a little bit, where she fell off the balcony and then she was gone. Like, all the stuff that he had done to terrorize her.
That's the other thing that I wasn't understanding, was that from the trailers, I'm thinking, I thought the same thing. Oh, she's right when she hears he's there, she's coming out guns blazing.
Yes.
Hunting that fool down.
Yes.
But in the movie, she was the crazy old lady who I'm like, all right, fine. Her house is a fortress. I'm like, great. But they made her as a crazy old lady.
Her house should have been like Home Alone house. Like, it was set up for that. Like, it was a trap. Like, it like everything was a booby trap and like fucked up. And like,
I was so hoping she was coming out into the street.
Hunting him down like Predator style. Like, she was like doing all the stuff that he was doing.
Not gonna take this. Not again.
Even if she had like her own like mask and stuff, because it's Halloween, I would have been in it to win it with that movie.
I know. They kind of made her this scared old lady all of a sudden. It was like,
it wasn't the buildup that like we had expected one thing and they gave us something else.